Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay, so I know I'm excited about today's training. I'm going to talk about the different steps, the three-step process of becoming a field trainer here. I love this talk. If Thomas can pull it up for me. Thank you. Oh. Like I'm famous. Thomas, you changed my slides. He always does this, okay. Alright, so like you guys know, everything that's great or good takes time. You don't just become a field trainer overnight. I know you guys all have Thanksgiving. Right? Same with a turkey. You don't just pop the turkey in the oven and becomes a good turkey right away. It takes, 7 hours to make a really good turkey. You have to season it, then you have to open the oven, you have to, obviously I don't make the turkey. I don't know what you gotta do. But at the end result took a lot of time.
Yeah.
And one thing that I do know how to do is how to become a field trainer. I'll go over that there. So let's say we first start as a trainee. Right? Everybody starts as a trainee, and I think this is really cool because you can take a CEO, you can take a manager, you can take a chef, you can take a nail tech, a student, and put them into the system. And everybody has to go through the same system, and if they go through the system, they will become successful at the end of it. Right? So as a trainee, first off, you start off by witnessing at least 10 field training appointments as quickly as possible. The key word here is as quickly as possible. It's very different to do 10 workouts in 6 months than it is to do 10 workouts within a week. Right? You're going to get different results there. Right? And then taking notes and asking your trainer questions. This is something that's really key here. When you go on field training appointments, you want to take a lot of notes. I always tell my team, write down 3 questions that you heard me ask, write down 3 questions you might have for me, and 3 questions you learned. Right, so if I, let's say, take out Cindy on a field training appointment, she has 3 pages of notes. I, as a trainer, know that she's serious. Right? But let's say I'm taking Peter out and he's just drawing a picture of me. I go, oh my God, I know he's not focused on the right thing. Right? So it helps the trainee, but it also helps the trainer figure out who's really serious and who they want to spend time with. And then also it builds confidence and competence. If you see 10 training presentations and all those 10 clients are not doing the right things financially, we have the solution for all those 10 clients. Imagine the confidence you're going to get after those 10 training appointments. And if you hear the same thing 10 times, just like you hear a song, I know if Jen hears Beyonce songs 10 times, she's going to know every single word to that song. Same thing here. You want to hear that over and over and over again. And then you're going to learn the presentation and learn the system. As you hear it over again, like Shaq always says, you're going to hear the same jokes again. I'm sure my team has heard the same jokes. They all laugh at the same jokes like they've never heard it before. And some of them even say it for me, and I'm like, it's not the same. But you hear the same thing, so you're going to learn the presentation, you're going to learn the flow, and you're going to learn the system of how we do things here. And then you learn how to take the application smoothly. This is something that's really underestimated here. As you see your trainer doing things, it just seems like everything is flowing so easily, everything is so simple, but it was them practicing it over and over again. So you want to learn how to take the application smoothly, so there's no friction there as well. And then of course you want to learn to earn referrals. You want to do this as soon as you're a trainee, is learning to earn these referrals, so then when you become a soloist, it also becomes second nature to you. And then practice the slides by yourself behind the scenes. I think this is what separates you from everyone else, is what you do behind closed doors. Right? If you finish a field training appointment and then you go into your room and you listen to my YouTube videos, or you look at the notes that you did and you practice on your dog, you practice on your kids, right? That's what's going to separate you from everyone else. Right? And if you want to get really good, do practice on your kids, because if you're going to be able to keep their attention, you're going to be able to keep everyone's attention. Right? And then once you go from trainee, you move on to a soloist. As a soloist, Thomas, help me. Okay. As a soloist, this is when you get really great in the field, and this is when you're gonna learn the most. So, everyone always thinks you're gonna learn the most while you're a trainee, but you really learn the most when you're a soloist. When you're out there, you're sitting down with clients, and you're messing up, you're gonna stumble through everything. That's when you're gonna learn the most, because you're gonna go back, and if you failed on something, which you're gonna fail forward, you're gonna go back and you're gonna make sure you're never gonna mess up again, right? That's where I learned the most. What I did is I really went out there as a soloist to get my name out there. I reached out to my friends and family, anyone that didn't become a client with me during my field training appointments, and I just said, hey, I just newly got licensed, I wanna learn this presentation, can I just practice on you? Right? And through practicing and doing these appointments myself, I stumbled through. But what I always tell my team is, it's okay if you stumble. Just keep stumbling towards the close, right? Because that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna stumble, and people are gonna listen to you still, and you're still gonna close eventually. So through those soloist appointments, all those people eventually became my clients or became a licensed agent as well, as you continue to stick here. And then also understanding the flow of the presentation and how to transition to the close. And then you can go on your own, but use your trainer as assistants. This is something that Shaq taught us is, hey, you're on your own, you're a soloist now, but it doesn't mean that your trainer doesn't exist. You can call them up if you have questions. You can say, hey, let me just call up my trainer and get that answer for you really quick. Or the biggest key that changed us getting soloists is that our team now calls us for the close. So they'll do the presentation, and things get funny when you're trying to close. Right? When the application comes up, the client gets a little funny, you start sweating, the client starts sweating, and then you tell the client, hey, I want you to think about it. Right? So now, instead, the trainee will then now call us. Right? Don't call us, we'll do the application for them, but they're still a soloist until they become really good at it. And then you want to contribute to a team goal as a soloist. This is something that's really big, is when you eventually want to have a team and you want to have other people contributing to your team goal, you first want to be a really good team player. Right? So I believe to become a field trainer, you should at least know how to write 10K personal. Writing 10K personal means at least you were able to close 10 clients into moving forward and starting a plan with you. If you can do that, you should be able to now be a field trainer. So if you're a field trainer, this is where all the goodies are. You can take multiple trainings on a QA. As a field trainer now, you should be able to deal with different backgrounds, different personalities, and be able to manage all those personalities. Also, you should know the presentations without even thinking about it. I know when I'm presenting, which is bad, right? I'm thinking about what I'm gonna eat later, I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do later, right? You can think about other things because the presentation is like riding a bike to you. And then knowing how to close for clients, recruits, referrals, and being in a position where you would want to duplicate yourself. So let's say you want to become a field trainer, you do have to look inwards at this time and say, do I want to have 10 of me on the field training other people? Because if I do have 10 of me, am I going to have a really successful business, or is it going to be a circus? Right? So that if it is going to be a circus, you want to go back and kind of work on your craft and get better as a soloist and kind of pass that trainer ball onto a better trainer. Right? So this was just a little outline of how I believe it should move from trainee to a trainer. But I'm going to bring up Willa, which I'm really excited about. She recently became a soloist. And if you guys can give it up for Willa. So I guess I'll kind of do an interview here. I'll ask you some questions. Hi guys.
Hi.
So, can you introduce yourself to everyone here?
My name is Willa, originally from Thailand. I moved here when I was 13, and I'm married. And I'm married with 3 kids, and I got into this business because of Peter. He actually recruited me. He messaged me through Facebook, and he was just asking, what did he ask me?
What are you doing?
What do I do for a living? So I said I manage at Morton's, and he was like, oh, maybe you should come join me since you have the management skills, what we're looking for. I'm like, okay, whatever, why not? So, and I was actually recruited by PFA and WFG before. I did sign up for both just because I want to learn about it. Like I always want to learn new things, new knowledge, new skills. So I was like, okay,
what made you want to get started, and what makes you keep coming around?
Well, I keep showing up to the meetings and just want to learn, just find out more information so I can understand more about the business. And when it finally makes sense to me, so I can go out and help people and teach people. And it's basically, I think starting off, you have to wanting to help people. Don't think about the money. Just kind of explain to them that it will benefit them in the long run, and people see that, and they just trust me, I guess. So they just come to me.
Awesome. And you did win Top Gun this week.
Yeah.
So
I struggled.
And can you tell everyone about the client you got last week?
So last week, she used to work with me over like 15 years ago, and I just kind of reached out because she has a son, a single mother, and so I reached out and I was just asking, do you have any plan for retirement, or what about life insurance? I just kind of told her what I do now, and I set up the appointments, and I asked her to just come sit down. You don't have to buy anything. Just come, get some information. And I don't mind. I want to see you. It's been a long time. So we meet up, and in the second meeting, that's when she do the application and sign up. And she wanted $1 million policy, so she doesn't mind paying. So, but I kind of felt bad. I didn't want her to pay too much. She's a single mother. So I was saying, just get this in, get your blood work, and then we'll talk about it. Cause I don't want her to pay too much. And she really liked that. She appreciated that. So.
Awesome. Thanks, Willa. Willa and Jeff are always a pleasure to work with. I love working with couples like them. You can tell a lot from somebody by the way they can set up appointments. Right? If you can go and tell your friends or somebody you haven't seen for 15 years, hey, can I sit down with you? I want to share with you what I do. You don't have to buy anything. And if they're willing to sit down with you, it shows a lot about the character of who somebody is and how trustworthy they are. So it's always a pleasure working with them, and I know there's a lot of great things in your future, lots of promotions in motion. Right? So I think that's all for my training today. Thank you guys.